Hello, everybody. Calling you from the American Family Cafe. I'm here to do my author's talk, my read for today. My first time doing this type of thing, so you're with me. Book number 1. Can you see the cover? The call came. I faced the news like I did everything in my life, by pushing it away. This makes it look like I've dealt with it all, but mostly, I just put it in a box, pushed it into the corner of my mind, and acted like I was okay. I was always okay after all. It would take years before I realized that call was the stimulant to the most glorious realization that my life was a life half lived, a life of denial, and that I could no longer deny that I was considered living, but it wasn't really living at all. Since I've been blessed with the unique ability to disassociate, this meant it took a lifetime to realize what was happening. I was struggling, and I knew it. Nothing was like it was before. I couldn't push things away like I had been able to do in the past. I had started writing as a way to express my thoughts and feelings. As Ernest Hemingway says, to write about life, we must first have lived. As I felt called to write, I didn't seem in control of my pen. What came as a surprise even me. I was writing from somewhere other than my head. It came from somewhere deep, forcing me to stay and write the truth in a way I'd never been able to see or face before. And while this journey had launched and started, one journal entry turned Facebook posts changed everything. It was this post that started my trip to the hardest and darkest parts of my life. I could no longer pretend I was okay. And I couldn't get any worse than this. You can't. So what's next? Why not sit home, drink beer, and eat chips like everybody else? Or like so many other people do? Perhaps not everybody. I felt like I was on the outside looking in. And I felt hopeless. I had my hand up, and I yelled, "Pick me, pick me." But the more I yelled, the more I was ignored. Sure, I received a living allowance, but it was never a bit about the money for me. If I won the lottery tomorrow, the feeling still wouldn't go away. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't sleep, but I couldn't get up. I was going through the motions. Get up, get breakfast, like so many other people do. Work without passion, or purpose. I felt lost. I couldn't continue, but I couldn't quit. I pulled away from people, deleted people, social media. I stopped seeing the beauty of the world. I only saw the negativity. And then I felt nothing. I felt like nothing. Without purpose, there is no passion. And without passion, there is nothing. The darkness became heavy, and getting up seemed impossible. I thought, where's the guy I used to be? Why can't I find him? Why can't I motivate myself? Why hasn't anyone noticed that I just don't give a shit about anything anymore? Does anyone even care? If I wasn't here, would they even notice? And that's where I found rock bottom. I always thought it would be not pleasant, but nothing like this. When I looked around at my life and I felt nothing, I couldn't be happy because I felt purposeless. It was the lowest point in my life. I had to feel the rawness and the messiness of life, the pain, the hurt, and the fears, and the scars, and the tears to be ready for the healing. I was born to break the mold. I got up, and I knew my purpose was to inspire people everywhere to find and tap into their own inner light. How did I get from the darkest part of my life to the purposeful part? You might ask that question. Hitting bottom, sleeping with a rock as a pillow, feeling too tired to feel anything, and being almost dead helps us see the fork in the road. The light came to the darkness, but the darkness showed me who I was. I was a wild soul. The first time I called myself a wild soul, I felt in my soul that this was who I was. Not the half-living, scared, needing to fit in, looking for approval in all the wrong places. The person that I had always been living as. We are wild and intuitive by nature, but it's beaten, burned, and conditioned out of us. I was born to rock the boat. Were you? And up ahead things, and why I had fallen into the pits of hell, and like a phoenix, I was about to rise, and I was going to take the whole damn world with me. Now, move on to another part of my book here. As soon as I find it. When I was going to an addiction treatment center in Corner Brook, one of the things that they asked us to do was to write a goodbye letter to our addiction. Well, mine was what I call Mr. Morgan. Dear Mr. Morgan, I'm writing this letter to you today to say goodbye. I still remember the first time we met. You were so friendly, and I like how you never judged me. You accepted me for who I was. Through my childhood and teenage years, you held my hand so tightly. You were always by my side and would never let me go. I liked how you made me feel. You helped me feel secure and confident when I couldn't. You edged me on and gave me the courage to meet many people over the years. You always made me forget them soon after. You told me everything would be okay as I went through life. You shielded me from the pain of rejection, the uncomfortableness and awkwardness of meeting people. Somewhere through the life of our friendship, you turned on me. You stabbed into my mind and my soul. You ripped my heart to shreds. You took control of my life, and I became your slave. You put me in the hospital, and nearly in my grave. You became my sole companion, made me run away from people who always wanted to be in my life. You didn't allow or want me to know myself. You were greedy and cold. You deadened my feelings and destroyed my thinking. You didn't want anybody else to share my life. When I started to open up, share my experiences with others, you made me believe that if you couldn't have me to yourself, nobody else would have me either. I find after near on 30 years, you were never a friend at all. You blinded me to the light of life. You had me pinned against the wall. You were a cheater, a liar, and a manipulative thief. Never had any feelings for anyone besides yourself. I am happy to be telling you goodbye, while I'm still young enough to get a wife, before you definitely in the future would have taken my life. Good riddance. So that's a few selections that I made from book number 1. And I've picked a few selections from book number 2 as well. Let's see if I can find what page to go to. I should have made some notes ahead of time, but like I say, this is my first time here with you.
You're winging it.
Winging. Chapter 3 of book number 2. Harmonizing the change. The resilience of chance code. The phrase embracing change with harmony encapsulates my life journey, particularly during the years I spent in the coastal village of Chancellor. This picturesque village, my hometown where I grew up, with its towering cliffs and relentless North Atlantic, played a pivotal role in shaping my existence. Living with a disability in this rugged setting felt like an ongoing dialogue with the demanding elements of nature. The harsh environment and the isolation of the community demanded extraordinary perseverance and creativity to tackle the daily tasks. The winding paths along the cliffs were more than mere routes. They symbolized the unpredictability of the journey of life, filled with challenges that required constant vigilance. Being the sole person with a physical disability in Chancellor added complexity to my daily life. The challenging terrain continuously presented physical obstacles, while social perceptions often placed me under an unwelcome spotlight. These experiences, through challenges, were instrumental in forging my resilience and solidifying my identity. My school years mirrored these broad struggles. The layout of Chancellor, not designed for accessibility. Good to see it's changing a lot over the years, but accessibility still needs a lot of help. Presented daily navigation challenges. The burden of stairs and whispers in the hallways was a constant reminder of my uniqueness. However, it was indissolubly that I experienced a life-altering act of kindness. An assignment in Mrs. Jenkins' English class, I can still remember it today like it was yesterday, became a turning point. My writing, my sanctuary, and means of independence garnered recognition for its depth and quality, reshaping my peers' perceptions and significantly influencing my school's experience and self-esteem. The loss of my grandfather at the age of 13 was a defining and heartbreaking event. It was a beacon of stability and wisdom, guiding me through my challenges. His absence left me adrift, a lot like the icebergs in the wintertime, struggling to find direction in a world that suddenly felt larger and more daunting. The lessons he imparted, however, they also became my guiding light. Through grief, teaching me to harness resilience. Years later, I actually joined Stella Circle's Inclusion Choir. It marked part of my life that means a lot. Transformative chapter in my life that I don't know how else to explain besides music becoming not only a source of healing, but also a medium for connection and expression. Singing with the choir provided me an escape from the accumulated struggles of my daily life. It evolved into a platform for self-expression and personal growth, helping me to fully grasp the transformative power of music and the strength necessary to carry forward with the community. Another significant turning point in my life was my battle with addiction. I started drinking at the young age of 8. That's pretty young. So things can be mentioned in my book about that. A life-altering intervention from an organization here in St. John's called the Emmanuel House served as the catalyst for my change. Confronted with their genuine concern and love, I felt compelled to address not only the impact of my addiction on myself, but also on those around me. This moment of raw honesty and vulnerability ignited my determination to seek help and to commit to my recovery so that I can be here to help others with theirs. Most of my life, I never had a relationship with my father. My father, we always argued. My father, more than once in my life, told me I would be nothing besides a disabled welfare bum. But years later, there was reconciliation with my father, much later. And because it was a journey that was marked with honesty, empathy, and understanding. I understood where he was coming from, and he finally took time to listen to where I was coming from. This process of reconciliation taught me the immeasurable value of open communication and forgiveness, because we need to be able to forgive ourselves before we really, truly forgive anybody else. Transforming our relationship is significantly contributing to my own personal growth. Delivering my first public speech was a culmination of lessons learned through life. People say, how do you be such a speaker? How can you stand on stage and connect to people? Because you need to live life to be able to speak. Just speak about what you know, and the message will flow. This opportunity allowed me to advocate for understanding, accessibility, and inclusivity, giving voice to the marginalized and highlighting often ignored people in society. Because many people are still today overlooked, and there's no need of it. My life in Chancegrove has been a rich tapestry of triumphs and trials that endowed me with fortitude, compassion, and a resolve to advocate for what I believe. These experiences have driven me to champion accessibility and inclusion, striving for a world where everyone, yes, I mean everyone, can succeed and make a positive impact. The village of Chancegrove, with its relentless sea, rugged cliffs, and resilient community, has been more than a home. It has been a teacher, a challenge, and a source of endless inspiration, teaching me the true meaning of embracing change with harmony. So, that's just the first two books. Now, my third book is not necessarily an autobiography story. It's more like an exercise book, activities that you can carry out and do for yourself. So, I'll do a little bit of an introduction. I don't know how much time I have left. So, third book, I should have hold up the cover, I guess. Would be that good idea, wouldn't it? That's the final book of my trilogy. Resilience Redefined, Rising Beyond Adversity. Welcome to a journey carefully crafted for anyone who has felt the weight of life's experiences and complexities. Who hasn't experienced life? The strain of personal challenges, the ambiguity. It's such an ambiguous word, I can't even say it. Ambiguity. Yeah. Be authentic, be real. That's me. Hello. For the emotional toll of setbacks. This book isn't merely a guide. It's a companion for those with resilience. Feels like only one lifelong. The one force keeping you grounded when everything else seems ready to transform those obstacles into powerful catalysts for change and personal growth. In a world that seems to demand more of us every day. We all know that. Life seems to deal more from us every day. Resilience is our most vital asset. It's a trait that empowers us to meet adversity head on, to endure, and ultimately to thrive. Because without resilience, we're not going to get there. Moving to chapter 1. And no, I'm not going to read the whole book. How's everybody's day going? Good, I hope. What is resilience? Resilience is more than just enduring life's hardships. It's about rising above them. It's the inner strength to let you push forward even when everything seems stacked against you. bet you've felt that way at least once or twice in your life, haven't you? It's the fire inside of you that doesn't extinguish when the winds of adversity blow. Instead, it burns brighter, fueled by each challenge you overcome. Imagine yourself as a tree, rooted firmly in the ground. Storms come, and the winds may bend your branches, but you stay grounded. Your roots are deep and strong. This is resilience, the ability to bend but not break. It's about using challenges as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Life brings countless difficulties, often at times from the least expected. Resilience is about the ability to navigate them with grace, determination, and courage. So a personal reflection on resilience for me. For me, resilience wasn't just a concept. It became my lifeline. Growing up, my father's words cut deep. You'll never amount to anything besides a disabled welfare bum. For a long time, those words played in my mind, holding me back. But over time, I realized something powerful. Resilience isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about knowing that despite what others believe, you are capable of far more than they can imagine. Resilience is the determination to more than often than not rewrite your own story. Every setback, every critical comment, every obstacle that I faced became fuel to push me forward. And you can do the same in your own life as well. I chose to embrace resilience as the inner fire that keeps going. So that's just a few rough reads from my book today. I did have much more than I was planning on doing, but we'll stop at this for today. It's my first time. And hopefully, if you're interested, you can see that I have books here available for sale. Contact me at sheldonscrocker@gmail.com. I also have my own website at sheldonstransformative.thinking.com. The books are available on Amazon. They're also available here in St. John's. So thank you for being with me here today, and hopefully you will find your own resilience to keep moving forward.